Well, good evening. I figured it out. For some reason, they wanted me to go do professional status, and I don't do that. So for some reason, I had to go and change that off and get it fixed. So thank you for anybody that comes on joining me, because I went and wrote a message because I was on and I couldn't get on. Tried several different things, and now it's 7:17. So I'm on here, and I'm going to demonstrate the Maritime Moments Kit. It's in the Stampin' Up kit collection, and you can purchase this kit anytime in the online store. So let me show you this kit, and it comes out with 3 different style cards, 2 of each, and then it also comes with a stamp set. Oops, that's the dirty side. So it has a sailboat, a lighthouse, I think it's, seagulls. So we'll be using, I think, 3 or 4 of the ideas. But it also comes with the mini dimensionals, tear tape, twine, and then it comes with a Stampin' Spot gray granite. But I think I brought in the basic gray as well as the gray granite, because I think that's going to be too light. And it comes with its own block. Okay? Also, when you get the stamp set, then it comes with the image that you can put in a clear case, which tells you the name. And this stamp set also comes in 2 other languages. And for some reason, this came out of one of the packages. And it comes with a couple of mini glue dots. So it has everything that you need in the kit. Alright, so let's get started. And let me... Hey, B! Sorry I'm delayed. I tried everything, and then I went on my phone, and then I saw that it had me under professional mode, and I don't have a streaming thing, so it's like, okay, that's not going to work, so I had to go back in there on my phone and change it. So at first I wasn't on here, and then I was on here. So the first one we're going to do is the sailboat, and it is this one. I just love the envelopes. Which one? Where's the extra one of that one? They're printed on the inside, and they're white on the outside. So the prettiness is inside. So when somebody who is a crafter that you send this to, they could actually cut this envelope out and use this as a background. So, anyways. So I put all the pieces in here so it would be easier instead of me having to pop them all out and making you wait for it. So, we're going to do card number 2 first. So, that's the one I have all the stuff sitting out here. So, I went ahead and make sure I pop everything out. So, it has 2 sailboats, which layer up on top of this one. 2 anchors. And then 2 sayings that say, "To a great guy." Now, if you didn't want to use that, you can flip that over and you can stamp happy birthday or thank you on it. Hello, Linda. Yeah, I figured it out, Linda. They had switched my account to professional mode, and I don't have a streaming channel. So it's like, no, I have YouTube, but I don't stream on there. I download my Facebook videos on there. I don't stream, so it's like, okay, what are you doing here? So, I had to go in there and change that. So, I figured it out for sure. So, the first thing we're going to do is stamp. And they have us using the wheat one. What did I do with the stamps? Oh, here it is. They have us using this one. Now, that one I think I will go with the gray granite. But the small ship in the background, I'm going to go with the basic gray, because it needs to be a little bit darker. think I got that straight. And these are photopolymer stamps. I'll peel that off. But I don't know why they would have that Stampin' Up there, but I don't know. I ain't going to question it. So it's going to be at an angle. Well, I shouldn't even put this one on. I should wait. Okay, so there's the one we are going to do in the gray granite. But the ship that's in the background, I think I'm going to do with the basic gray. So remember, whenever you're inking up your stamps for the first time, you want to ink it up and then stamp, and then re-ink it up again. And they have this. I'm trying to see which way. This way. They have this stamped up here. Because the sentiment is going to be up underneath with the anchor hanging from the corner. That looks cool. It's pretty good. I know, right? Linda, I agree with you. It's like I get used to one thing and before you know it's another thing. I do this for my crafters. It's not like I'm getting paid for advertising because I don't. So it's like, So the next thing is we got to stamp that little boat. Remember this one? So I didn't bring my clean thing, so I'm just going to twist that off. And then put that on the plastic over there. And I'm just eyeing this. And remember I said I was going to use the basic gray? Otherwise, that ship's going to be lost. You ain't going to really see it. Let's see how dark that's going to be. See, that's faint. I stamped it off. No, I like it dark. Have a little bit of contrast there. So this is like it's in the very back next to the other ship. That looks good. And it has two different tones. Now, what comes in the kit is gray granite. So what you could do is stamp the ship in gray granite and then ink this up and stamp this off so it's a lighter tone. I don't think it would look right with both of them being the same tone. But to each his own, too. So each person has their own taste. Twist that off. We're done with that one, too. I'll put that block over there. So the next thing we're supposed to do is we're supposed to thread. It's like, really? With that thread? I can hear B right now. Are you serious? Yeah, this linen thread. They want you to thread through it. I'm looking at, with only one, it's not too bad. I guess I can handle that. Okay. And of course, when it's wrapped around the spool, it gets all that little curliness, and you want to take that out. So, then you're just going to thread it through this little hole. And I'd say give yourself about 4 inches. I ain't measuring. I think that's about 4 inches. Yeah, 2 inches on either side. Okay. Let me get my ribbon scissors. And the easy way of doing that is just using that as a guide to do the next one. I just fold it up. Been enjoying my youngest son Taylor and his wife Shayla. They came in here late last Thursday night from Hawaii to stay for a week, and they're visiting friends and us family. And so then what they did is they tied it in a knot. So if this is hard, you can always tie it the other way, but I usually just like to do the little loop-de-loop. But I don't know if I can get it through both of those little loops. This is going to test my patience. Alright. I can hear y'all laughing right now. Even though we're not live. I'm live, but y'all are. But yeah, I can hear it. Oh my goodness. I got one in, can't get the dang other one in. What is the problem here? This is where a needle and thread comes in handy. Let me just make the hole bigger and push it through. There we go. That is easier. Okay. And don't make your knot too small because you're going to have to mount it with a glue dot. Okay, so that's what it's supposed to look like. Okay? Now let's attempt the second one. First one's always... thank you, Michelle. Thanks for joining in. I saw a bee going. Yeah, she knows. Well, I had to wet that one. It doesn't want to go in the hole. Doggone it. But anyways, I like using these kits. This one I was kind of shocked it was at 9 cards, but then when I looked at the price, because it had a stamp set and a spot and a block, then I go, okay, that's feasible. We got 2 of each card. But you know what? The first one, it went perfectly through. Let me just flip it. Don't wet it. That made it worse. See? That's what I get. Thinking I was doing something right. And making it wet, it didn't want to go through the hole. Okay, there we go. There we got that one. Okay. Now we're going to wrap that around. Remember I made the opening bigger than I did the first time when I went on the second one. Oops, did I miss it? No, I did not. It's just frame. There we go. All right, so both of those are done. The hardest part is done. Now, next thing is I have the saying. Now, you can mount it up with dimensionals, which is what they did, and there's 2. Or you can mount it flat. So I'm going to mount it with the mini dimensionals that came in the kit, because the ship goes on dimensionals too. So this size of a circle, I'm going to put 3. I'm going to do like a triangle. And we're going to go ahead and put it on both of them. And you definitely want to mount the saying and the anchor first before you mount the ship. Then you just press in the center of these, and it peels them up real easy. Okay, and then I'm going to cover that right there. Of course, the other one sticks to my hand. Oh my gosh, I hope everyone stayed cool today. It's cooler today, and it was nice and overcasted for 2/3 of the day. Because it's going to be a scorcher come midweek. And so they have it kind of hanging like that. I am not too sure about that. That doesn't, nothing. I just don't, I don't see how I can, maybe up underneath there. That looks better. Okay, so we're going to take these little glue dots. You see these? These can be a pain. So what you do is you take your little scissors, whatever type you've got. I'm using the paper snips. And then I'm going to, what I showed you, I am going to mount this one where it's close to that. Then mount it right there, and then you peel that up. Peels right off. Then you're going to mount one right here. So one there. Okay, you'll get it off the scissors. Okay, let's go ahead and do the second one too. All right. This one. And this one. Okay, so what you're going to do is going to peel off this one too. And so I'm going to mount it to the G where it points the guy. And then this part here, oops, it needs to go up under the saying, Gina. There we go. Without the string. There we go. And then this can go on the back side. You don't have to see that. So you really don't even have to tie a knot in that. Yeah. Oh, the whole anchor? Well, you can do that, B, if you don't put this on dimensionals. Okay? So keep that in mind. But like I said, you saw me with that, doing that knot. You really don't have to do it because it goes on the back side of the card. So you don't have to do that. So that's good to know. So I'm going to take a piece of the tear tape and hold that down. Okay? So I'll do the whole anchor on this one and move it further down. I like suggestions. So thank you, B, for suggesting that. Let's see what it looks like with the whole anchor all showing. Okay, come on. Now, good thing is you can put the anchor down here versus having it up there. So I'm going to try, because if there's not enough room. So let's just try that. And then that thread can go around. Okay? And I'll just put the tear tape on the back of that one. There we go. Come on. There we go. Had to get it all the way up underneath there. Alright. Peel this one off. Now, they mounted this with dimensionals. That's too much. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring in my multi-purpose glue because you're going to put dimensionals on the ship too. That's double dimensionals. That's 2 sets of thickness. I don't recommend that. Unless you're hand giving it, but it still may not fit in the doggone envelope too. So that's important. So I'm going to kind of tilt this one. Then I'll do the other one straight. So this one here, I'll just do straight. So that way it gives you a variation of 2 different ways. And there's that one. I'm going to center it best as possible. And for those of you who have the kit, when you use it, you could even add a piece of Cajun craze up underneath that. Just a bigger size of that inlay, and that would kind of really bring it out. Or even the ballet blue. Or the pool party. Or the pecan pie. Yeah, several of those colors. Okay, so now we're ready to put the dimensionals on the ship. So when you place these, depending on the size of each item, I usually, like this one here, it's gonna take 5. But I do the 3 outer areas. Then I come up on the side here, and the side here, and one in the center. So it's at 5, 6, 7. That will make it lay even, especially when it's on the card. Oops, I got 2 that time. I needed 2, but not in one spot. Then you're just going to press on these, and then they'll peel up real easy. And this goes right on top of the ship. But if you didn't want to do that, you can save the ship and use it on another card. But I like the double. I like the where it shows dimension. Okay, all those are peeled off. So this just goes right up on top of that ship. Like two-dimensional. Okay, so now we'll put it on this one. Hey, Debbie Woodby. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so there we go. And there's that one. So, there's two different ways. This one's straight, anchor at the bottom. This was Kitty Wampus, and partial anchor closer to the top in the sentiment. So there's that one. Now, let's go to card number 3. This is the one that shows the pelican. This is cool. All right. So, and then see, shows the seagulls, the lighthouse, the boat. And that's Coastal Cabana. Love the envelopes. Okay, on these pieces, it's got like a wavy, embossed, like sea ocean. I turn it at an angle, you can see it. Now, they showed two in the Terra tape, 2 long strips. You don't need to do that. So I just put a strip here, here, here. So let me show you what they're going to be like. So they got this card turned horizontal. Okay? So, to know where to lay them out, just go ahead and do your top and your bottom first, and then do your center last. Now, I've already burnished them, but this is what I mean. You want to rub real good, and it peels up very easily. But doing the top and the bottom, then you'll have it pretty much how you want it lined up. And remember, nobody knows an accident or whether you're straight or not. Only you. We're our worst critic. So don't ever point out when you make a mistake. Just cover it up or say it's an artistic moment. So I'm going to bring this about the same depth that I have at the bottom. Here, here, and here. There we go. And then we're going to lay this center one. And if your tear tape hangs off the edge, after you peel it, just roll it back. You don't need it. You don't need to trim it. There's that one. And then this just goes right in between. Just like that. Now we're going to do the other one. And they're too long this way. And I wouldn't do it like that because it's going to look awkward. So I'm not going to change this one up. I may change up how we do the layout with the pelican on the seaside scene. You'll see what I mean. So just remember, whether you do the top or the bottom first, always do both of those first before you do the center one. Because it's easier to line up the center that way. If you go 1, 2, 3, sometimes you have too much of a gap. This makes it easier to do the 3 panels on your card. There we go. There's that one. That one. And that one. Okay. There we go. Alright. So this is where I was talking about the seascape scene. That is that. Now, this one gets dimensionals. So make sure I got it right side up. Then you're going to come back and do one in the center. That's all you need. Top, bottom, side, side, and one in the center. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and press on these. And we peel these up. If you're not sure if you got them all, just touch them. If they're sticky, they have been removed. Now I'm trying to think, do we need a stamp? Oh, I should have stamped the seagull on this. Well, it's all right. I'll just mount it. Okay. So I want to mount this one all the way over to my right. Okay, so I was supposed to have the seagull out. Luckily, they're not that big. I'll probably be able to fit it right in that spot. But I shouldn't have put the dimensionals on. That was my faux pas. Now, I am going to use the basic gray on this. There we go. And let's see if I can get it in there without making a mistake. Wonderful. See there? Now I'll stamp one with gray granite so you can see what it looks like too. Let's stick it to my arm. Okay. So here's this one. Before I peel them off, we want to stamp that one. This is gray granite, so it's a lighter tone. Oh, okay. So just to show you, there's the basic gray, and there's the gray granite. So just to show you the difference in the two color tones. Now on this one here, I'm going to put it over here on this side. There we go. All those are peeled off. And then we're going to place this over here on this side. Okay. Now I made a mistake and I went ahead and put the doggone dimensionals on the pelican. So this one is fine. This one is not. Oh, it can be fine because I can just mount it like this. Yes, that'll work. So I'm just going to add a couple more mini dimensionals to this. That'll work. Alright, and this one here only needs one on the back end. Okay, so on this one here, it's going to be mounted with the tear tape onto the circle. Right here. And then mini dimensionals are all those that are hanging off because this is mounted on dimensionals. And that's the purpose why they show that in the instructions. Now they show string wrapped around it. I almost forgot. Let's do the little twine. That's why you got tear tape. So you wrap this around before you mount it. Don't copy Gina. I got busy talking. Forgot what I was doing. Oh my goodness. And I think 5 wraps is good. There's 4. Here comes 5. And then trim it off. There we go. Press on that tear tape. And that rough edge can just come back on there. There we go. Okay. Now we can mount that. That's what it's supposed to look like. And this one needs a mini dimensional up underneath. So I'll know that for the next one. I should have put 2 on the bottom. Don't ask me. I wasn't thinking then. So what you do is go ahead and peel it off if you ever need one and just stick it up underneath. Don't take it off. So there's that one. That looks nice. But this is going to look nicer because this is going to take up that empty space. And if I thought about it, I would have moved that over a little bit. But that's okay. So there's that one. So we know that this is going to have the twine on it. And let me go ahead and add the dimensional on the bottom. Okay. Now we can do that linen thread. And this one, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll press on that tear tape and then trim that. There we go. And then this should be good to go. And so we'll go ahead and add a dimensional here where the thread done, because this one's going flat on there. You'll understand what I mean by that. We got plenty of many dimensionals. We're not going to run out. But this is going flat on here. It's not going up against that. We'll go ahead and peel these off. These peel off so easy. Now, I will give you a heads up. When your dimensionals and your Stampin' mini dimensionals get old, sometimes they get hard to peeling off. So try to keep them away from direct sunlight and heat. That's what does that. You keep them in a cool place, they don't get like that at all. Now we're just going to place that right on there. Just like that. So there's that one. So there's the 2 cards for that one. 2 different layout designs, but come out very nice. And this one has 7 wrapped, and this one has 5. So it gives you an idea between the 2. Okay, on the last one, which is actually card number 1, let me twist that off. I'll wash them all up afterwards. This one has the lighthouse. Okay. Put that lid on there and get that ready. So it is, it's got quite a few components. So, alright, how much more is in that envelope? Okay, so this one says, celebrate the good life. That's the sentiment. This is just a piece that goes up underneath it, and there's that envelope in the night of navy. Isn't that pretty? I like how they're white, but the inside is pretty. So when they open it up, they see all that beautifulness. And then whoever gets this, they're a crafter, they can actually use this paper. Okay, so this one's got the big ship. And it comes in a wavy base card. You can see that. This is not embossed, but it looks embossed. It's like 3-dimensional. And of course it comes with these 2 strips. So I suggest to put the strips there. Now, I'm going to mount this with tear tape. I'm not going to go down 2 full lines. You don't need that much. But I'm going to do what I did earlier. I'm going to do 3 small pieces from each one. I always do the top, the center, and the bottom. That's all you need. We'll flip this one over and do the same thing. The key is after you get it on there, you wanna rub it real good so it will peel off. A lot of people will go and place it on and then try to peel it. But if you don't burnish it, it doesn't want to come off. It makes it harder to come off. Put it that way. But I love the idea of being able just to tear it. But if you use scissors, you do have to use the Goo Gone or alcohol to clean your scissors off because it makes your scissors very tacky. Okay, so we're going to bring this in, and I'd like to be about the same as this and this when I'm doing that. So that's where I'm going to place that one. Now I'm going to do that on the same thing on this piece. I almost forgot to burnish this one. Peel that one. And peel that one. And peel that one. And this has a finished side and then an open side. Make sure your finished side is facing towards the outside of the card. Okay, now this one, they show dimensionals on it. Now that is optional if you want to, but I'm going to put, if I do dimensionals, I don't want to put these on dimensionals. So let's mount those first on here. So we'll go ahead and put the tear tape on the back of this one. And I am going to go ahead and use the full length of that on each one of those. And then those little glue dots, I can't even talk. The little glue dots are for this one. Whenever you have something tiny. So you just want to go across here. See how I have that overhanging? Well, after I rub it and I peel it, I just rub it back. It just folds right back over. Okay. So this one is just like this. I'm going to go all the way to the edge because I want this one to come down like that. And it's going to be having the tone on either side. So we're going to go ahead and mount that with tear tape after we get our other piece on. They have it hanging over on the blue, but I don't want that. That's the good thing is you don't have to copy it exactly. This is, when you get the kit, it's your kit, and you can change it up however you want. But when I was taking all the pieces apart, I looked at it, and I said, okay, I ain't doing that. I'm going to do something else. I knew it automatically. Yes, this kit is available. I went and checked before I demo it. I try not to demo anything that's not available. I had ordered it, but it wasn't available when I got it, so I waited. There we go. So there's that one down. Now, oops, I forgot to burnish that. Okay. And then you can put that one up if you wanted to, or you can come over here and go over to the left a little bit. I want to do them both the same way, so this way gives people a variety of looks. All right, so they have this greenery, and then they're going to stamp the lighthouse over here. So let me get the stamp. We are going to use the gray granite on this. Let me prime this. There we go. And it goes right here in the background. Just like that. And I'm going to get this one over because I moved my thing. And then I'm going to take this and bring this other part over on this side. Like I said, you don't have to copy. So there's the two that I did. Okay? Let me move that pad out of the way before I have an accident. Hello, Kathy Ryan. She lives in Missouri. And it's late for her. It's almost 10 o'clock. Okay, so move that out of the way. So now we are ready for this part. Now they show this up underneath that. But what we're going to do is we're going to put this. I'm going to take the scissors and I'm going to cut. And I'm going to leave the starfish on. And I'm going to put that at the bottom. The other part I'm going to stick up underneath the same. I just thought it was too much at the top. I really didn't care for that. But I just thought if you didn't want it on the outside, you could put it on the inside of the card. But I'm thinking it was way too much up there. But this here, I don't mind having that showing up underneath. See what I mean? But if you want this on the front, I would put it here, but then it would block your ship, and that's water. So I'm going to put this on the inside of the card. Alright, so let's get this with a couple of those little glue dots. Because you're not going to see it, because they're going to go up underneath. And I'll have to cut the other one. It was just too much up in that top area. I'll go and show you the picture again afterwards. Okay. This is just going to slide up underneath and then press. So there's that one. And remember we're going to put dimensionals in the back of that. Okay, so let me just go ahead and cut this out. I'm going to cut right here. And then I go up inside where the starfish is. You just follow the line. And this is not hard cutting, believe me. And you cut that part off. And I think this would look better on the inside of the card, too. So, just too much in a small area can make it look overdone. And we don't want that. There we go. And we'll peel that off. These are so much easier now. When they first came out with the paper pumpkin back in 2013, those were so hard to peel off. I hated them. They always went in the garbage. I did not keep them at all. So there are the two there. So, and then this here, it's going to go up on dimensional. And this here is going to go on the inside of the card. I just think that would look better. So let's go ahead and mount that with our little Tombow glue. Because you just can overdo a card. And you don't want your card to look that way. Like. So here we go. I'm just doing little small dots. Really, really very thin. Because you don't want it seeping out on the inside of your card. And I just think this just adds a great touch to the card. So there's that. And we'll go ahead and put it on the inside of this one as well. If you get too much, just take the nozzle of your glue and just spread it. Okay? You don't have to worry about it, or you can take a piece of scrap cardstock and scrape it off. Thank God I dropped it on the right side. Okay. There's that. All right. Now we're ready to mount these on the top. Now, keep in mind, we still had twine. They didn't use twine, but we still had twine here. So if you wanted to, you could have wrapped it around that. But I don't think it needs that. I think this is perfectly fine. So let's flip these over. Let me move the cards out of the way. And let's put some dimensionals in the back of that. Close up your glue. All right. So you're going to put one in each corner. And the outside of these mini dimensionals, I'm going to use on down the center. And I'm going to do 2 on each side, 4 corners, 2 on each side. You see all this? So we're going to take this and we're going to cut and use that. Doesn't go to waste. There's that one, and that one, and then one more, and I'm going to put that one crossway. And then do the same thing on this one. At the center, let's go ahead and do our outside corners. And then 2 more on either side. Then I'll go ahead and cut some more outside edges here. 1, 2. I don't cut more than what I need, because you never know when you need something a little bit longer or shorter. Okay, there's that. Now, just press on them and just divot with your nail. If you don't have a nail, just use the point of your scissors. I mean, they really peel up easy. Not a problem. That's why I said sometimes you can't even tell if you peeled them up or not. That's why sometimes I have to test them by just touching them, because they come up so easy. Okay, just make sure you have it right side up. That's so important. And then I'm looking over here at this edge. I'm looking at the top and the bottom and the edge over here, because I want more of that blue to show. And there's the first one. And we'll go ahead and do this one. And peel these up. There we go. Got it. There we go. Okay. So there's that. I'm doing the same thing here. I don't think it would look good doing it kittywampus because of having that blue edge over there and it being straight. So, but there's the ways of doing that one. This one shows the full lighthouse on this side with the saying over to the right. And I moved it over that way and just did partial and partial. So it just gives you an idea. There we go. So there's those two with these envelopes. Here's these two with their envelopes. And these two with their envelopes. Well, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming on and watching me, and I appreciate those who'll be watching the replay. And thanks for the patience. So if your Facebook asks, do you want to have professional mode? Don't click it. It took me a few minutes to figure out how to do that because I couldn't even do my live video. It wanted me to answer so many daggone questions. It's like, oh my gosh. But I appreciate you taking the time out of your evening. Have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye-bye.